So once again we are here. Okay. Now what I was discussing, that America is trying to use Taiwan as a military station point to counter China's rise to power, as the British follow a grand strategy. As the British follow a grand strategy. The grand strategy is that when a particular country or a leader gets too much powerful, then they automatically support the lesser powerful country or the lesser powerful leader, so as to check and keep it in balance, so that the balance of power is maintained. For example, let's take the example of India. If Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of India, becomes too much powerful for the British, and if the British see that, okay, now see this leader is becoming too much powerful, then automatically they will start funding the opposition party, the Congress. On the other hand, if they see that Indira Gandhi is trying to become very powerful, then they will try to fund some other people in the government, so as to keep her in balance and keep her preoccupied. This is a grand strategy, so that you are always focused on your own problems. You are not able to concentrate on other important things. This is the grand strategy followed by the British to help you weaken your momentum. Okay. Now see, the Philippines is also very much disturbed by this, because there are many islands over here, especially islands along with fishing grounds. Fishing grounds. These fishing grounds in South China Sea are known as shoals, 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 where a very famous shoal is Scarborough Shoal. Scarborough Shoal. This shoal is basically a fishing ground, and countries like Taiwan, Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, Vietnam, they again and again go to these shoals for fishing, and China claims these fishing grounds. See, you must be wondering why such a small fishing ground is so much important for China. This fishing ground itself has huge amount of fisheries, and moreover there are small islands. There are small islands, and these islands are volcanic islands. These islands are volcanic islands. These volcanic islands provide them with a good military station point, military base. Moreover, the mineral resources of sulfur, which is later used in the making of sugar. White color of the sugar is from sulfur obtained from volcanic islands. That's why this volcanic island sulfur is known as devil's gold. This is also known as devil's gold. Okay, so China wants these shoals as their volcanic islands. It can be a huge point for military base, for like, there are huge ships. These ships have aircraft carriers in them. Aircraft will land over it. Okay, what if we find a military base volcanic island from where we can launch our military ships like Rafale, Tejas, Sukhoi? These are very good for military bases, and sulfur, that is devil's gold. Moreover, why these volcanic islands are forming over here? Because it is a oceanic plate boundary. This is a oceanic plate boundary. See, wherever you will find oceanic plate boundary, automatically there will be trenches and there will be volcanic islands as well as earthquake activity. So the Sumatran earthquake came from near the Sumatran underwater earthquake. It led to the tsunami. Oceanic plate boundary. ठीक है. Now next country is Brunei. Brunei is a Muslim majority country which has a kingship also. Recently, India has asked to develop its embassy in Brunei, Darussalam full name. Malaysia has this choke point, Malacca State. We have already discussed in previous classes. Malacca State is a choke point. Indonesia, the 75th Republic Day Parade, which was held this year 2025 on 26 January. The head of the state of Indonesia, Subianto ji, came to India. Mr. Subianto, he came to India and attended. The first ever Republic Day Parade was also, the invitee were the Indonesian head of state. This year also there was Indonesian head of state. This means that how Indonesia is so much important for India. Okay, see Vietnam. We know that there was Vietnam War. Vietnam was earlier divided to North Vietnam and South Vietnam, and in the Vietnam War, America invaded Vietnam, and Vietnam did not give up. Vietnam did not give up. It was so much devastating and heavy costly for America that it had to leave Vietnam. And since then, Vietnam has become very aggressive towards any China interference or American interference. Vietnam doesn't want any interference from any countries, whereas India has now started exporting military grade equipments to Vietnam. Example, BrahMos missile, around $700 million of investment has been done by India to supply BrahMos missile to Vietnam. $700 million of investment has been done by India in Vietnam. We are supplying the BrahMos missile to it. BrahMos missile, Brahmaputra and Moskova river. There are two rivers. Indian river is Brahmaputra. Moskova river is of Russia. This shows that the BrahMos missile, which is a cruise missile, is a joint collaboration of both India and Russia. This missile is formed by the collaboration of India and Russia. Brahmaputra Moskova missile. It is a cruise missile. Cruise missiles are not detectable by radars. Radars are not able to detect cruise missiles. So this was some of the basic facts about this region, South China Sea. There is fishing, as there is a fishing ground, there is heavy trawling. TRAWLING, trawling. What this means, trawling? Trawling means using heavy equipment like a bulldozer underwater to take out all the fishes as well as the rare earth minerals. Rare earth, you know what are rare earth minerals? Rare earth minerals are like cobalt, palladium, platinum, silicon, germanium. If you are having any doubts, silicon, germanium. These all rare earth materials and minerals are used in the production of your phones, your latest gadgets, laptops, okay, e-vehicles like Tesla, semiconductor vehicles. Rare earth, rare earth minerals. Okay. See, this method is known as trawling, taking out all the minerals as well as fishes using a bulldozer type equipment through seas, through ships. Okay. These rare earth minerals are being dug through trawling method by China. So automatically, which country is the largest producer of rare earth minerals in the world? China is the largest producer of rare earth minerals in the world. These rare earth minerals are used in your mobile phones, your laptops, your e-vehicles. See, moving forward, let's hear over this. The South China Sea is part of the global commons. See, this is by Indian Ministry of External Affairs Statement 121. The South China Sea is part of the global commons. See, the meaning of the word global commons. Global commons means that it belongs to the entire globe, entire world. No particular country has a right over it. Example of global commons are the moon. It is not that only the USA can go on the moon. You can also go on the moon if you have the technology or the power. The moon. Antarctica is a global common. Antarctica is a global common. Open seas, yeah, high seas are a global common. For example, oxygen is a global common. If there is oxygen in Canada, you will also, it's a global common. Your oxygen, my oxygen. Okay. India stands for unimpeded commerce. Unimpeded commerce means unstoppable commerce. Like you will not impede, you will not create hindrances, you will not create speed breakers in our commerce, that is trade. India stands for unimpeded commerce. Freedom of navigation. You will allow us to navigate these waters, that we will go over here and we will also find minerals. We will also take fisheries. Overflight, that we will be allowed to fly over these plains, fly over this water, like through aircrafts, military aircrafts or civilian aircrafts, airways, in accordance with the international law, particularly UN clause, United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. So let's discuss this. See, UNCLOS, UN clause. It is full form means United Nations, which was established in 1945, as you all know, to avoid World War III. Convention. It was a meeting on the laws of the sea. On the laws of the sea. Now see over here, UN clause, what's the meaning of this? It is a convention, it is an organization, an organ, part, department of the United Nations, UN clause. It deals with a country and the country's coastline and also open seas. Like who can go in the open seas and what are the territorial boundaries? Territorial boundaries. Number one, buffer zones. Number two, and number three is EEZ, exclusive economic zones. See, the territorial boundaries, for example, let's say this is a country, okay, this is a country like India. The water surrounding it up to 12 nautical miles, up to 12 nautical miles. See, on land you measure in miles or in kilometers, but on ocean waters you always measure in nautical miles. 12 nautical miles is your territorial boundary. Further, more 12 nautical miles. Once more 12 nautical miles is your buffer zone. And now up to 200 nautical miles, up to 200 nautical miles, it is the EEZ, exclusive economic zone of any nation. So who decides this? 12, 12 and 200? UN clause has decided this. What are the protocols that can any country come and do fishing over EEZ? Yes, they can do fishing, but they cannot come in the territorial waters of 12 nautical miles and do fishing. In today's newspaper on 29 January 2025, if you see the Hindu newspaper, the front page, you will see that the Sri Lankan authority and ships have crossed into the territorial boundary and have attacked fishermen in the Pondicherry Karaikal region. Pondicherry Karaikal. The front page of Hindu newspaper has highlighted this. Okay. See, if you look over here, Sri Lankan Navy fires at Indian boat, 2 injured. Family members of fishermen from Karaikal mourns after they came under attack from the Sri Lankan Navy on Tuesday. See, this is the front page of the Hindu newspaper. So it is also related to UN clause. Who decides how much of the 12 nautical miles or what is there? Okay. UN clause. It is one of the most successful treaty in United Nations. You will highly appreciate this treaty UN clause. Okay. Let's moving forward. Okay. Now, India-Indonesia relation. Indonesia, which is a Muslim majority country. Indonesia is a Muslim majority country. It is the country with the highest Muslim population in all South Asia and Southeast Asia. After Indonesia comes India. It's a very fun fact that before 1971, Pakistan had both West Pakistan and East Pakistan. It was the most Muslim populated country in the world in South Asia. Whereas after 1971, the partition or the separation of West Pakistan, East Pakistan and the creation of Bangladesh, hence now no more Pakistan is the highest population Muslim majority country anymore. Whereas Indonesia became the largest Muslim populated country in the world, Indonesia. After it, India. Okay, just fun fact, Muslim majority state. Indonesia is not just India's maritime neighbor. Maritime means connected by ocean waters, maritime neighbor. It is also a key strategic partner. Strategic partner means in health circumstances, in economic trade, Indonesia is one of the largest trading partner in ASEAN, in all the 10 members of ASEAN with India. In the Indo-Pacific, together, we are committed to a free, open and rule-based regional order. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, January 2025, joint press conference with President Prabowo Subianto. The capital of Indonesia is Jakarta. The capital of Indonesia is Jakarta. You can see President Subianto and Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji. Okay. If you look clearly over here, there is a country called East Timor. It is being negotiated that it will become the 11th member of ASEAN. We have already discussed this. 11th member of ASEAN. Now, I want to discuss a very important thing with you in light of this. It is not related to India, Indonesia. It is furthermore related to India, China. See this. This is your Russia. Okay. This is your China. This is Japan. This is Indonesia, Sri Lanka and India. Here is a country called Ukraine. Okay. We all know very well that Russia and Ukraine are fighting. Okay. Russia has an unlimited objective. Russia has an unlimited objective, whereas Ukraine has a limited objective. In PSIR, you have to remember this very carefully. What is the difference between unlimited objective and limited objective? Russia has a limited objective. Russia not only wants to topple over the government. Topple over the government means sarkar gira dena. Topple over the government means that it wants to completely eradicate Zelensky from the map. No longer he will be the head of the state. Zelensky will not be there. I want to take over your government, number one. Unlimited objective, we want to end the culture of Ukraine. End the culture of Ukraine. You see, it is very difficult for a country to lose its culture. There are two types of victory in war. One is victory through war and one is victory through love. Ashoka gave the policy of victory through love, that is Dhamma Ghosha. Victory through love. He wanted to conquer the negative culture of violence through culture of love and positivity, Dhamma Ghosha. Now, here Russia wants to end the culture of Ukraine and impose Russian culture on Ukraine. Currently, Ukraine speaks Russian language, but Russia wants to make it the primary language of Ukraine, as well as the Ukrainian festivals, the Ukrainian style of living, Ukrainian art. Everything has to be completely gone, eradicated, just as England took over Australia. The entire culture of Australia, the Aboriginals were wiped out. For example, as the Britain, when it went to USA, it wiped out the Apache tribes, the indigenous people of America, before taking over America. That was the unlimited objective. Just imagine America before England, Christopher Columbus discovered America. Before Christopher Columbus discovered America, it was ruled by tribal people. The head was the tribal people. It had the tribal culture. Then came the British, Christopher Columbus and all. They took over the tribal culture. They killed each and every one of those tribal people. That was unlimited objective. They were successful because they had huge manpower, huge technology, huge trade. So they could easily topple this. Now here, Ukraine has limited objective. Ukraine doesn't want to take over Russia. Have you ever seen Zelensky saying that I want entire Russia? No. Have you ever seen Ukraine saying that I want to take over the president of Russia? I want Putin to go and I will become the president. Never. Ukraine has limited objective. Ukraine just wants that leave my boundary and go away. Go back to the earlier situations. Limited objective means leave me alone. Leave me alone, just go away. Whereas he wants to just take over your entire country. This is the difference between unlimited objective and limited objective. India-Pakistan war is always about unlimited objective or limited objective? Limited objective. We don't want entire Pakistan to come to India, and neither do Pakistan wants to conquer over the entire India. Does PM Nawaz Sharif or earlier PM Imran Khan wants to become the Prime Minister of India? Neither do our Prime Minister of India wants to become the Prime Minister of Pakistan. We both just want limited objective. You stay out of Kashmir, You stay out of Aksai Chin with China also. We don't want to become the prime president of China, Xi Jinping. You want Narendra Modi to become the prime president of China? No. We have a limited objective. You just go out of Arunachal Pradesh, you just go out of Aksai Chin, Ladakh region. There are two types of objective. His objective is unlimited objective. Okay? When Britain came to conquer India, no, when Britain started conquering, it went to Australia with unlimited objective. It went to America with unlimited objective. It came to India also with unlimited objective. But then it realized that it had a 140 crore huge population. It started slowly ending the culture of India. It replaced the indigenous vernacular languages with British language. Macaulay, I want Indian in blood, Indian in style, Indians in blood, but English in style, taste and fashion. But Indian, that was end of the culture of India. But somehow we survived because of Swami Vivekananda and all the freedom movement. The freedom movement was basically this, to save the culture of India. That's why your syllabus requires you to learn about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwarchand Vidyasagar and Kalidas and ancient India. Okay? That's why they want you to learn this. You always be wondering that why do we want to learn about ancient India? To save our culture. Still, the British influence is there in India. Now see, you already know this thing. This is not new. Just the words are new for PSIR, optional. Now, see another scenario. What will happen in the future? Russia is fighting with Ukraine. Russia already lost the Cold War in 1991. Russia had already lost the Cold War in 1991. Everyone knows that Russia no longer has enough money. That's why Kazakhstan, Mongolia, all these places went away from Russia. Ukraine was also leaving Russia. Russia doesn't have enough money to fund. Okay, the weapons that were saved during the Cold War are being used to attack Ukraine. Slowly the population is declining. Everyone knows that Russia is saying come make babies in Russia. Because we have to fight Ukraine. They don't have enough population. They are recruiting Gorkhas from Nepal. They are recruiting armies from North Korea. They are begging China to supply soldiers, but China is not supplying. I'll tell you the future what lies ahead. Ukraine is being funded by European countries, but manpower is of Ukraine. Ukraine are also dying. But what will happen in the future? He will lose ultimately. He will have to lose ultimately. You know why? Because manpower and money both are being spent. Okay. Now see, it is a communist country. So automatically you must be thinking that China would be helping Russia. China is a very selfish country. China will not help Russia. Let me tell you why. Number one, India also tried this with China. India was also initially after independence, we were helping China. We were saying that China Hindi Chini bhai bhai, Hindi Chini bhai bhai. But we even gave it the United Nations Security Council seat. Our United Nations Security Council seat we gave it to China. China also did atrocities and attacked different parts of the world, but we kept silent. Then on one day, China attacked India in 1962 war and took away Aksai Chin. Region. Aksai Chin is you see this? This part is POK, Pakistan Occupied Kashmir. This part is Aksai Chin of Ladakh. Okay. Here there is Siachen Glacier, which is of India. Siachen Glacier, world's largest glacier sometimes. India's largest glacier, Siachen Glacier. Aksai Chin. Okay. They took over Aksai Chin. Then when it came for a treaty between India and China to stop the war, then India said, give us back our Aksai Chin. China said, okay, then give me Arunachal Pradesh. So in the end, it was a peace agreement. We will not give you Arunachal Pradesh. You take over Aksai Chin. That's why you don't see so much fighting over Aksai Chin region. India doesn't fight so much with Aksai Chin region because India says you leave alone Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Now the future, what is the future? Just as China backstabbed India, just as China betrayed India, even after Hindi Chini bhai bhai. Similar case is going to happen when China will backstab Russia in the future. You know how? China is lacking water resources. China doesn't have fresh water. China doesn't have fresh water. And it is the second largest populated country in the world after India. China doesn't have fresh water for agriculture. so much of population but no fresh water. There are two main sources of fresh water for China in the future. In the future, China is always looking for resources. Number one is Lake Baikal over here. It is a primary lake of Russia. Lake Baikal entirely in Russia. Now, when Russia is busy fighting with Ukraine, from the side China is trying to enter Siberia for Lake Baikal. China is now going to capture territory in Russia. Just like it wants Arunachal Pradesh from Brahmaputra river, it wants Lake Baikal from Russia, Siberia. Lake Baikal will be the future contention. Lake Baikal. Now, moreover, even a theory is being propounded that there is a river which boundaries Russia and China. That river is River Amur. AMUR, Amur River. Amur River, boundary between Russia and China. China needs fresh water from this river. And just as Russia gets weakened, Russia becomes weak and it attacks furthermore into Ukraine. China is just waiting for the point. That's why you see there are no more Aksai Chin standoff, there are no more Galwan Ghati, there are no more Pangong Lakes attacks, there are no more Arunachal Pradesh attacks, there are no more Doklam issue near Bhutan. China is backing off from India. It is not now no more focusing on India. China is now focusing to enter into Siberia from the back. You just have to remember that China needs water. It doesn't have water. It wants water from India, Arunachal Pradesh, Brahmaputra river, but it also wants water from Lake Baikal and Amur river. This is the future geopolitics. China will attack Russia one day, and then see, Ukraine is not a nuclear power. Hence, Russia is again and again attacking Ukraine. But you see here, Russia is a nuclear power. China is a nuclear power. Russia is powerful. China is powerful. Russia has some money. China has more money. Russia has some population. China has more population. So they will not go for one-on-one fight, but they will do some heavy fighting in the future. Okay? America is just waiting. America is not supporting Russia. America is not supporting China. America is now coming with India. You know why? Because in the future, America and India, this person will be replaced by USA, Trump. And Trump will have good relations with India. PM Modi ji. PM Modi and Trump, they both hate China. As Corona ended the Trump's reign in 2020. Trump would have easily won had it not been for Corona pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. And had it not been for COVID-19 pandemic, Mr. Prime Minister Modi would have crossed Upsc-psir-part 300 par. So they both hate China. They both will join hands, and this hand joining will be named as Quad, but a stronger Quad. Okay, in the coming future. So this was all about the future. Thank you very much. Kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel for more information. Thank you.